everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Now, I just caught some news the other day that Gremlins 3 is in the works. Now, they have been trying to do a third Gremlins movie for many years now. It's been sort of happening in fits and starts. You'll hear that there's a director on board or a producer, or they have a script that's in the works. But it seems this report is showing a bit more promise. Apparently, Chris Columbus, who is a very talented writer and director, he's penned a brand new script for Gremlins 3. So I like Chris Columbus's work. I mean, he was the guy behind big movies like Home Alone and also Robin Williams as Mrs. Doubtfire. That's kind of where he made his fame. He also did a quirky little Elvis movie called Heartbreak Hotel with David Keith playing an Elvis. So if you haven't seen that one, I would highly recommend checking out that Chris Columbus film. But he's had some big hits throughout the years, and knowing that Chris Columbus has written a script has raised my interest in Gremlins 3. Now, I also caught word that the guy that starred in Gremlins and Gremlins 2, Zach Galligan, remember him? Whatever happened to Zach Galligan, the star of Gremlins? Well, anyway, recently he mentioned that this script that Chris Columbus has written is waiting for approval from the man himself, Steven Spielberg. Now, Steven Spielberg was one of the producers of the original Gremlins, and I can only imagine if this thing gets truly green-lighted, and that's because of Spielberg saying yes to the script, we could have something special here. But at the moment, I'm not going to get overly enthusiastic. Let's just say I'm interested, but not fully committed yet, because they haven't started working on the production. So this is just the early phase. It's nice to know they have a script, but whether it makes it into production, well, I guess by the looks of things, it rests on the shoulders of Spielberg. If Spielberg thinks it's a go, yeah, great. And if they start production, yeah, I will definitely be back to talk more about this. But at the moment, nothing to get too excited about, but Chris Columbus really has what it takes. And with him behind this film, it does show a little bit of promise. So quietly hopeful, but we'll just have to wait and see. And will Zach Galligan return? Well, it's been a lot of years. Zach Galligan back in 1984 was a 19-year-old kid just starting out in the acting world. And at that time, Corey Feldman was in the original Gremlins, if you remember. He played a good friend of Zach's. And it had a lot of quirky little actors in that film. Judge Reinhold also played a part in the original Gremlins. It would be nice to see him return. And Phoebe Cates was the female lead opposite Zach Galligan. And Phoebe Cates is a crowd favourite. So I guess if they do make this third film, what we want to see is maybe Zach come back in some capacity, and Phoebe would be a breath of fresh air as well. It would be great to see her after all of these years. So Gremlins 3 could be potentially a thing. I mean, legacy sequels are in vogue now, and it's been years since Gremlins 2, and I still remember the Hulk Hogan cameo in that one. Film critic Leonard Maltin also had a blink and you miss him cameo. So Gremlins 2 really tried as well. It fell short in my estimation. It wasn't as good as the original. The original was just an outright classic. And I remember seeing that in the summer of '84. And it really was something novel and it just had audiences in the palm of their hands. There was scares there was some edge of your seat excitement, but then there was also a lot of heart with Gizmo and what happened to him. And Gremlins I always looked at as a bit of a horror film for family audiences, and I always felt that that injection of heart with Gizmo was the engine room that made that movie a success. So Gremlins 2 did okay, and I think for Gremlins 3 to work, they really do need to pull in some of those old cast members in supporting roles, and it'll be interesting to see whether they go down a CGI route or whether they're doing some of that puppetry of the past. I would like them to go old school if possible, but who knows, they might think that's a technical nightmare. So it'll be interesting to see how things pan out. Watch this space, because I'll be back to talk more about Gremlins 3. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you all again very soon. In the meantime, take care and catch you later.